Hello everyone, I'm from group 9. I'm Ni Komang Putri Intari as a first speaker and my partner Iwayan Widyasana as a second speaker. Today I would like to present about the strategies to teach speaking skill, and for the material I will divide it by sub-material, and there are, for the first speaker will explain the definition of the teaching strategy and then continue with the definition of speaking skill, and the third is principle of teaching speaking skill, and then the objective of speaking skill, and the last is the strategies to teaching a speaking skill. And we'll continue by the second speaker will explain about the analysis of teaching speaking skill and the result of strategies to teach speaking skill research, and the last is conclusion. So I will continue. The first material is about the definition of teaching strategy. Teaching is the activity by the teacher in the classroom when the teacher show our knowledge to the student. When the teacher teaching, the teacher need use a strategy. And what is strategy? According to William and Bardon 2003, cited in Molitor and Summer 2019, strategy is a method used by the teacher as a success factor in the language learning process. And according to Mead 2002, cited in Maulidar and Summer 2019, strategy is a way used to make decision in a class based on the analysis of characteristics of student, curriculum, and so on. And last is according to Stone and Morris in Ishaq, cited in Saputra and Asis, teaching strategy is a technique or tactic with instructional goals, structure, and plans in implementing strategy. So, strategy is a method used by the teacher to teaching in this classroom. And then the next material is about the definition of speaking skill. We know the speaking skill is the one of the other skill. It is very important for the student or the teacher because speaking can use to show our own or information, and also make a interaction with the other the other people. According to Radminingsis 2017, speaking ability is a complex thing that must be pushed by everyone. And then, according to Salia 2017, speaking is a process in creating interaction to generate and receive information using a language in conveying certain messages. And the last is according to Maulidar and Samad 2019, speaking skills are a process to producing, receiving, and processing information, often interactively. So, speaking skill is very important because it is useful to show about information and making a interact in environment. Environment. And the last material is about principle in teaching speaking skill. The teacher wanted in the classroom must have a principles because it is a part of the teacher to get the objective of teaching. So according to Ratmaning 2017, there are 5 principles can be used in teaching speaking skill. The first is creating authentic training activities. It's mean like the teacher use a target language when the teacher teaching in the classroom, like every day, and then creative a different content. It is mean like the teacher can creative to make a content very different between topic, the first topic and the other topic. Because it can make the student not boring to learn about speaking skill. And the third is providing scaffolding and support in its content. And the fourth is please do not emphasize the intended the student mistake. It's meant like please don't judge the student when they make a mistake, when they interact with the other, communicate with the other. Please don't judge, because when the teacher judges the student about their mistake, the student will feel bad, afraid to active in the class again. And then the last is make lesson fun for student. It is very important, because when the class very fun, the student can receive knowledge for making the lesson fun. I think the teacher can use like a game. And the last material is about the objective of speaking skill. So when the teacher teach the student like teaching a speaking skill, of course the learning process have a objective of the objective of teaching. According to Bone and Yule 2000, cited in Molidar and Samad 2019, there are objective of speaking skill. The first is improves the student ability to use target language, and the second is teach students to express themselves. To express ourselves and enhance idea through speaking. And then the last is increase the student language production in understanding about grammar or vocabulary. So if the objective of teaching is success, we can see from the characteristic of the student, like the student more active in the class, or the student have more more vocabulary to use to communicate with the other with the other students. And the last material is about the strategy to teach speaking skill. So I choose 3 strategies strategies, there are role play, debate, gossiping, groups activity. Role play is when a student act the other ability like when the teacher give the student as a guide, the student will act a guide. According to Hammer 2007, cited in Ratmenings's 2017, roleplay is a strategy in which students can practice speaking skill through giving content roles. And for the advantages and the weakness of this strategy are the advantages of role play strategy. There are: it can train the student's speaking skill, and the second is it can increase the student activity in the classroom, and then the student can appreciate themselves to act or to learn in the class. And then the last is student can release stress in learning process, because its strategy, it's very fun. And for the weakness of this role play strategy, there are the strategy use more time, and then not all students can active because they feel afraid to act, and then not all teacher and student have a high creativity. Okay, now continue to the second strategy is debate. Debate strategy is a learning process using a discussion. According to Hammer 1991, cited in Ratmenings's 2017, debate strategies is consists of two groups. There are propen and open. It is discussed about a controversial issue in environment. Can make a student more critical about the issue, and also can show our speaking skill. For the advantages and weakness of this strategy is, the first is servant thinking and speaking skill, and then increase student self-confidence, and then learn to be a listener and and show our opinions. And for the weakness is dispute. It is make dispute with the other student, and sense of dropping its other student, and also using a long time. And the last strategy is gossiping grouping activity. According to Ball 2002, cited in Ratmenings's 2017, this strategy is carried out by chatting or gossiping about something in this class. And for the advantages and weakness of this strategy, for the advantages, there are train the student speaking skill, and then practice social interaction skill, and increase student curiosity, and the last is quite easy to implement in this learning process. And for the weakness, it's not all students can participate in the learning process. because the student with weakness of topic will passive and cannot active in the discussion. And the last is the result not met. The result is not met with the purpose of the topic. Okay, that's all about my material. Now we'll continue by my friends Widyastana.